Darth, Theorist, rise.
What if Anakin Skywalker never fell in love with Padme Amidala? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. The corridors of Queen Amidala's starship shimmers as Anakin Skywalker walks beside the handmaiden. He sees only a gentle attendant, unaware she's the ruler. When her true identity as the queen is revealed, admiration replaces surprise. To Anakin, she becomes an ideal of justice and courage, a figure to emulate rather than desire. The Force still binds their fates, but through duty, not love. 10 years pass within the Jedi Temple's hallowed halls. The training chambers echo with precise lightsaber movements as 19-year-old Anakin demonstrates forms that would make masters envious. Each strike flows with perfection, but he lacks the natural rhythm that comes from a connection to the living Force. Obi-Wan observes from the observation deck, concern creasing his weathered features, watching his former Padawan spar against multiple training droids, and he deactivates his lightsaber without satisfaction or acknowledgement.
Your technique is flawless, but the Force flows through passion as much as peace.
The code teaches us that passion leads to suffering, Master. I've learned to control such weakness.
Control, yes, but not elimination. There's a difference between mastery and suppression.
Years of restraint have dulled his emotions, convincing him this is true Jedi strength. Obi-Wan's concern feels like weakness to him. When assigned to protect Senator Amidala after the attack on her life, the Council hesitates, but trusts his focus and skill. Their reunion is respectful, distant. Padme sees a disciplined knight, not a suitor, while Anakin honors the leader whose ideals once guided his sense of right and wrong.
Senator Amidala, the Jedi Council has assigned us to ensure your protection.
Master Kenobi, Master Skywalker, I appreciate the Council's concern, though I believe these threats are designed to intimidate rather than harm.
Nevertheless, Senator, we take all threats against your life seriously.
Their interaction carries none of the tension and attraction that might have been. Anakin sees a dedicated public servant who needs protection. Padme sees a capable warrior assigned to keep her safe. The professional boundaries remain intact. As the days pass in the Senate building and her apartment, their conversations focus on politics and duty rather than personal matters. Anakin discusses military strategy and security protocols, while Padme explains legislative procedures and diplomatic complexities. Without the emotional anchor that Padme might have provided, Anakin finds himself drawn to the one person who seems to truly understand his potential. Chancellor Palpatine's office becomes a refuge from the Jedi Temple's rigid structure and the Senate's political games.
Anakin, my boy, you look troubled. The burdens of protecting our Republic weigh heavily on your shoulders.
Chancellor, sometimes I wonder if the Jedi truly understand what's at stake. They meditate while systems suffer.
The Jedi Council means well, but they've grown distant from realities of governing. You, however, have the vision to see what needs to be done. Tell me, what do you see when you envision the galaxy's future?
Peace. Order. No more systems left to fend for themselves while bureaucrats debate. No more children growing up as slaves while senators argue about trade routes.
These conversations become more frequent as Anakin's duties bring him regularly to the Chancellor's presence. Each meeting reinforces his growing belief that traditional Jedi passivity enables suffering rather than preventing it. The voyage to Naboo unfolds in calm, courteous exchanges. Amid the planet's tranquil lakes and soft breezes, no affection stirs, only respect and quiet understanding. In the stillness of the villa above the water, his nights grow restless. Shadows of his mother's suffering haunt his mind, her voice echoing across stars he cannot reach. With no love to ease his turmoil, Anakin bears the visions alone, masking pain as duty, while Padme mistakes anguish for simple concern.
Anakin, you seem troubled. Is there something affecting your ability to provide protection?
I'm fine, Senator. Just some personal matters that don't concern the mission.
If something is affecting your concentration, perhaps you should discuss it with Master Kenobi, or the Council.
It's not something I should burden others with. I can handle it.
I understand the need for privacy, but if you ever need someone to listen, as a friend, not as your assignment, the offer stands.
Thank you, Senator. That means more than you know.
But even as he expresses gratitude, something in him recoils from accepting help. The Jedi Code teaches self-reliance, and his growing connection to Palpatine reinforces the idea that strength comes from within, not from depending on others. The visions intensify over the following nights, his mother's face becoming clearer, her suffering more detailed and immediate. The Force itself seems to be screaming warnings that something terrible approaches, or has already begun. Finally, after a particularly vivid nightmare that leaves him shaking, Anakin makes his decision. He finds Padme in her private study, reviewing legislation by the light of Coruscant's endless city glow.
Senator, I need to request temporary leave from this assignment.
Has something happened? A threat we're not aware of?
It's personal. Family matters on Tatooine that require my immediate attention. I'll arrange for another Jedi to take over protection duties.
Of course. Family must come first. How long do you expect to be away?
I'm not sure. I hope to return soon, once I've ensured my mother's safety.
Their exchange ends without warmth or promise. Padme turns back to her duties, unaware of the distance forming in his heart. Anakin readies his ship and leaves Coruscant behind. No love guides him now, only duty and silence. As the stars blur into hyperspace, his path narrows toward Tatooine and the darkness waiting to claim him. Under Tatooine's blazing suns, Anakin arrives at the Lars homestead and learns his mother has been taken by Tusken raiders. That night, he rides across the desert, and in the dim light of the Tusken camp, Shmi dies in his arms, her final breath fading into silence. Rage consumes him. Under the same night sky, Anakin slaughters the tribe, men, women, and children alike. At dawn, he buries his mother beside the homestead, her grave bathed in cruel morning light. The next day, Anakin returns with Padme to Coruscant for mission duties. In the Chancellor's office on Coruscant, Anakin sits across from the only person he trusts completely. The confession pours out of him like poison from a wound.
You look disturbed, my boy. Tell me, what's the matter?
I killed them all, Chancellor. Every last one of them. I couldn't stop myself.
My dear boy. Of course you couldn't. What they did to your mother, no son should have to endure that.
The Jedi teach that revenge is not the Jedi way. That I should have shown mercy.
Mercy. Two animals who torture an innocent woman to death. Anakin, what you did wasn't revenge. It was justice. The Jedi have spent so long in their ivory tower that they've forgotten what real suffering looks like. You've seen it. You've lived it. That makes you stronger than any of them.
You really think so?
I know so. Don't let narrow philosophy make you doubt your instincts, Anakin. You did what had to be done.
Perhaps I should tell them.
Perhaps you shouldn't. I'm afraid they won't listen to you the way I did.
Anakin thinks on it and leaves. The emergency session in the Jedi Council chamber cracks with tension as reports flood in from Geonosis. Obi-Wan's transmission, cut short by attacking droids, plays on repeat while the Masters debate their response.
We must move quickly. Master Kenobi's intelligence about the droid army cannot fall into Separatist hands.
Prepare for war, we must, but carefully proceed we should.
As plans take shape for a rescue mission, Padme strides into the chamber uninvited, her senatorial robes swirling behind her.
Masters, I'm coming with you to Geonosis.
Senator, this is a military operation. The Senate has no jurisdiction.
Obi-Wan was captured investigating a plot against my life. I have every right to—
No, Senator. You're not coming. This isn't some diplomatic mission where you can negotiate your way out of trouble.
Anakin, I can handle myself. I've been in dangerous situations before.
And you've been lucky. Geonosis won't care about your senatorial immunity or your good intentions. You'll be a distraction we can't afford.
A distraction?
Yes. My job is to protect the Republic interests, not babysit politicians who want to play soldier.
Perhaps Skywalker could have phrased that more tactfully, but his point has merit. Geonosis will be extremely dangerous.
I see. And here I thought we were allies in this fight.
We are. You fight in the Senate, we fight on the battlefield. Stick to what you're good at.
The rescue mission succeeds without Padme, and the Clone Wars begin. Days later, Anakin paces his quarters in the Jedi Temple, his mechanical hands tightening as memories of Tatooine surface. The massacre he committed haunts him, made heavier by the battles he's now fought. On Geonosis, he fought for the Republic. On Tatooine, for vengeance. The difference burns inside him. Seeking relief, he visits Obi-Wan's chambers overlooking the quiet meditation gardens. But even the calm surroundings can not still the turmoil raging beneath his composed exterior.
You've been troubled since we returned from Geonosis. What's weighing on your mind?
Master, there's something I need to tell you. Something I did on Tatooine.
You'll know you can tell me anything.
After my mother died, after I found her in that camp, I didn't just leave. I made sure they couldn't hurt anyone else ever again.
Anakin, you killed who? Your mother's dead. What really happened?
Anakin tells the story to Obi-Wan. After hearing it all, Obi-Wan is shocked and tense. He never thought that his Padawan could do this. massacre a whole group, women, children. He left no one.
They deserved it. They tortured my mother for sport, left her to die in agony. Someone had to make them pay.
The Jedi way is not revenge. We protect the innocent. We don't...
Don't lecture me about the Jedi way. Where were the Jedi when my mother needed protection?
The Council needs to know about this.
You're going to turn me in.
I'm going to help you face this properly. The Council can guide us through.
The Council will cast me out. You know they will.
Anakin, listen. What happened to your mother? It shouldn't have happened. But punishing the whole group, especially the children,
I gave them what they deserved.
Anakin leaves in anger. Obi-Wan is confused. He doesn't know where this will all end. The emergency council session convenes within hours. The circular chamber filled with holographic projections of masters scattered across the galaxy by war. Yoda's ancient face shows deep sorrow as Obi-Wan recounts Anakin's confession.
This is exactly what we feared when we allowed him to be trained. Attachment leads to vengeance. Vengeance leads to the dark side.
Great pain young Skywalker carries. Lost his mother he has. Understand his suffering. We must.
Understanding and excusing are different things, Master Yoda. He committed genocide against an entire tribe.
But he came forward voluntarily. That shows remorse, a desire to make amends.
Remorse doesn't resurrect the dead. There must be consequences for actions of this magnitude.
The debate rages for hours, with Yoda and a few other masters arguing for compassion, while Mace leads a larger faction demanding strict discipline. When the vote is finally called, the result devastates both Obi-Wan and Anakin.
The Council has decided. Knight Skywalker will be suspended from active duty, pending further psychological evaluation. His actions require formal disciplinary review.
Psychological evaluation? I'm not insane. I was grieving.
You were uncontrolled. That makes you dangerous.
Masters, surely there's another way.
The decision stands.
Later that night, in the privacy of his quarters, Anakin stares out at Coruscant's endless cityscape while anger and betrayal war in his heart. He trusted Obi-Wan with his darkest secret, and in return received judgment from the very people who claimed to understand the Force's will. When Chancellor Palpatine's private message arrives, offering a meeting to discuss alternative services to the Republic, Anakin doesn't hesitate to accept.
My young friend, I heard about the Council's decision. Such a waste of your considerable talents.
They don't understand what it means to lose someone you love. They preach about compassion, but show none when it matters.
The Jedi have grown rigid in their thinking, but the Republic still needs warriors like you, especially now.
The Chancellor's office feels warmer than the cold halls of the Jedi Temple as Palpatine presents his offer. With emergency wartime powers, he has authority to appoint military advisors outside the Jedi chain of command, and Anakin's unmatched skills makes him the perfect candidate. Tired of the Council's distrust and moral rigidity, Anakin formally resigns from the Jedi Order. The decision sends ripples through the Jedi Temple. Obi-Wan and Yoda protest, urging him to reconsider, but Mace Windu remains coldly silent, believing Anakin's departure inevitable. Despite the controversy, Palpatine swiftly legitimizes Anakin's new role as a Republic general. The transition is seamless. The clone commanders who once served under him on Geonosis follow his leadership without question. Within days, Anakin sheds his identity as a Jedi Knight and embraces a new one, a soldier of the Republic, free from the Order's constraints, but walking ever closer to the Chancellor's influence. Time passes as Anakin leads increasingly important missions for the Chancellor. His tactics grow harsher, his methods more pragmatic. When civilian casualties serve strategic purposes, he authorizes them. When intelligence requires enhanced interrogation, he approves it. Each decision weighs on him, but Palpatine's constant reassurance helps justify what he calls necessary evils for the greater good. During a war briefing in the Senate building, Senator Amidala reviews casualty reports from Anakin's latest campaign. Her expression grows troubled as she notices patterns in his operational choices.
General Skywalker, these tactics seem aggressive.
They're effective, Senator. We ended the siege 3 days ahead of schedule.
At the cost of an entire city district.
War requires difficult choices, Senator. Sometimes we must sacrifice the few to save the many.
Few? This is not few, General. I'm talking about an entire city district if you misheard me.
With all due respect, Senator, I'm doing what must be done. I'm not enjoying all of this. But this is war, and sometimes we have to do what we don't want to ensure victory and peace.
The exchange leaves Padme deeply unsettled. This isn't the principled young man she once knew. the one who spoke passionately about protecting the innocent. Something fundamental has changed in him, something that frightens her. After the briefing, she seeks out the one person who might still be able to reach him.
Master Kenobi, I'm concerned about Anakin. His methods in the field. They're becoming increasingly ruthless.
I know. I've heard the reports.
He told me yesterday that sometimes we must do what we don't want to for the sake of peace. That's exactly what he said. What we don't want to. It suggests he knows his actions are wrong, but continues anyway.
There is great conflict in him. He is lost. Right now, his direction is the Chancellor's. He's doing whatever the Chancellor orders him to.
Then you must do something. We can't just let him get lost in the conflict he has in his mind. I personally think that the Chancellor is not what he acts to be.
That's exactly what Master Windu says. But don't worry, Senator. The Council is involved, and I hope they'll soon reach some conclusion.
Time passes, and Anakin, with each mission, feels like he's losing himself more and more. Meanwhile, the investigation that follows uncovers disturbing evidence. Financial records show Republic resources being diverted to questionable projects. Communication interceptions reveal Anakin authorizing operations that benefit Palpatine's political allies. Supply manifests document weapons shipments to systems with no official military presence.
He's not just following orders. He's actively participating in corruption.
This is what happens when emotion overrides discipline. The Council was right to reject him.
Or maybe we just pushed him too far. He trusted the Chancellor because we gave him no one else to trust.
He made his choice, Obi-Wan. Sympathy won't undo what he's done.
He's still one of us. We owe him a chance to explain before we condemn him.
And risk manipulating us again? You're letting your attachment cloud your judgment.
It's not attachment. It's responsibility. He was my Padawan. I won't turn my back on him.
Enough. Blame serve us it does not. Act we must. Before lost to the darkness completely, Skywalker is.
The decision to stage an intervention weighs heavily on all of them, but the evidence is too substantial to ignore. Somewhere in the depths of the Senate building, Anakin Skywalker has lost his way, and only his former master might be able to bring him back to the light. But first, they must confront the reality that their rejection may have created the very monster they sought to prevent. The small cantina in Coruscant's lower levels provides neutral ground for the men both meeting know will be difficult. Obi-Wan arrives first, choosing a corner booth where their conversation won't be overheard by curious civilians or Republic intelligence officers. When Anakin enters 20 minutes later, his military bearing and confident stride mark him as someone accustomed to command.
Thank you for coming. I wasn't certain you would.
Your message said it was important. What do you want, Obi-Wan?
I want to show you what we've discovered about some of your recent operations. Financial irregularities, supply diversions, tactical decisions that seem to benefit specific political interests rather than military objectives.
Those are classified Republic operations. You have no right to...
Anakin, look at these numbers. 3 separate missions where victory came at unnecessary cost, but the collateral damage specifically targeted systems that opposed the Chancellor's policies.
Anakin studies the data, his expression shifting from annoyance to uncertainty. The pattern is undeniable when laid out in black and white. His actions have consistently served Palpatine's political agenda rather than pure military necessity.
The Chancellor explained each of these decisions. They were strategic considerations you don't understand.
What strategic value did destroying that medical facility on Ryloth serve? It was treating civilians, Anakin. Children.
Intelligence suggested it was being used as a communications hub by separatist sympathizers.
Did you verify that intelligence personally, or did you take someone's word for it? You're being used, my friend. The man you trust is manipulating your honor and your pain for his own ends.
Don't psychoanalyze me. Everything I've done has been necessary to end this war faster, to save more lives in the long run.
And who told you that? Who convinced you that those children's lives were acceptable losses?
The confrontation continues, with Obi-Wan methodically presenting evidence while Anakin struggles between loyalty and growing doubt. When they finally part, Anakin's certainty has been shaken, though he won't admit it aloud. Days later, the Jedi Council reconvenes to present their findings to a deeply troubled Anakin. Even Mace Windu's usually stern demeanor carries notes of genuine concern rather than condemnation.
We're not here to punish you, Skywalker. We're here because we believe you're being deceived by someone you trust.
Manipulated you have been. See this clearly we do. But choose your path forward, you must.
The evidence they present goes beyond financial corruption. Communication intercepts show Palpatine's agents coordinating with Separatist forces, supply records indicating Republic weapons flowing to systems that later declared independence, medical reports proving the Ryloth facility was exactly what it appeared to be.
The pattern suggests someone is prolonging this war deliberately, creating crises that require emergency powers to resolve.
And you've been the instrument of that strategy, whether you knew it or not.
You're suggesting the Chancellor is working with the enemy.
We're suggesting the Chancellor may be the enemy.
The revelation rocks Anakin's world, even as part of him recognizes the truth he's been avoiding. Every instinct trained by years of military service tells him the evidence is genuine, but accepting it means confronting the fact that his only remaining ally has been manipulating him from the beginning. Time passes as the investigation deepens, and then crisis strikes. General Grievous launches a daring assault on Coruscant, kidnapping Chancellor Palpatine from the heart of the Republic. The rescue mission requires all available assets, including the rogue general who knows Palpatine's security arrangements better than anyone. Working alongside Obi-Wan again feels strange, but familiar as they storm the Separatist flagship. When Dooku falls, Anakin executes him on the Chancellor's orders. The war rages on, and in the following weeks, the galaxy fractures further. Yoda departs for Kashyyyk, Obi-Wan is dispatched to Geonosis, and for the first time in years, Anakin finds himself truly alone on Coruscant. Doubt gnaws at him. Why are they still fighting, and for what end? The Jedi speak of peace, yet wage endless war. Sensing this uncertainty, Palpatine begins his quiet work. In private meetings under the guise of military council, he feeds Anakin subtle truths, how the Jedi hoard power, how only decisive strength can bring peace. One night, curiosity turns to revelation in Palpatine's office.
You are doing very well, my friend. You've grown stronger since leaving the Jedi Order.
Have I? Sometimes I wonder if I've just learned to ignore my conscience.
The Jedi taught you that conscience was weakness, but there is another way. A path to power that doesn't require such moral limitations. You've heard the Council's accusations, haven't you? They claim I'm manipulating the war for my own gain. Typical. When they lose control, they point fingers.
They showed me reports, contracts, movements, decisions that benefit your allies. I defended you, but I can't ignore what I saw.
And tell me, did they mention how many systems the Jedi themselves control through their generals? How many lives they sacrifice to maintain their peace?
They believe you're profiting from the war.
No, Anakin. I've been ensuring victory. The Republic needed strength, not endless Jedi debates. Dooku's death ended one half of the chaos, but to end the other, we must confront the real enemy.
Who's left to fight?
The Jedi.
What do you mean?
The Sith understands what the Jedi refuse to accept. That peace through strength is the only lasting peace. That order requires someone willing to make the hard choices.
You're the Sith Lord.
I am, and I have never denied it. You simply weren't ready to see.
How? I should arrest you.
You should, my boy. After all these years, I was the one to listen to you. I believed you, gave you purpose. And now, when I trusted you with this, you are deceiving me. Think, Anakin. What can we do together? You can achieve anything you want to. I will ensure that. The war will be over. The galaxy will nurture. Don't make the same mistake the Jedi make. Don't be like them. Be different. Think.
Anakin gets confused and leaves. Alone in his apartment, Anakin stares out at the city lights while trying to process the magnitude of Palpatine's revelation. The man who saved him from the Jedi Council's judgment, who gave him purpose when he had none, is the architect of the galaxy's suffering. Shaken, Anakin retreats to his apartment, his faith in both sides collapsing. With Yoda and Obi-Wan away, and Mace Windu unwilling to meet him, Anakin turns to the only senator he still trusts, Padme Amidala. He invites her under the pretense of discussing reconstruction strategies, but when she arrives, she finds him pale and trembling.
Anakin, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Senator, I need to tell you something. Something that changes everything.
The confession spills out. Palpatine's identity, his plans for the galaxy, Anakin's unwitting role in strengthening the very system they've been fighting to preserve.
The Chancellor is the Sith Lord we've been hunting? All this time, he's been orchestrating both sides of the war.
I've done terrible things in his name. Hurt innocent people because I believed his lies about necessity and the greater good.
Then we have to stop him, right now, before he can do any more damage.
He's all I have left, Padme. The Jedi cast me out. My mother is dead. And now you're asking me to turn on the one person who's shown me understanding.
I'm asking you to turn your back to the light. You're not alone. You have people who care about you, who want to help you find your way back to who you really are.
The journey to the Jedi Temple feels like a funeral march as Anakin prepares to betray the man who's been both his savior and his corrupter. The council members still on Coruscant receive his confession with grim determination rather than surprise. Mace orders Anakin to stay with Padme. He gathers 3 masters and goes for the arrest. But Anakin cannot simply wait while the others determine his fate and the galaxy's future. When he and Padme arrive at the Chancellor's office, they find chaos. 3 Jedi Masters dead on the floor while Mace Windu duels desperately against Palpatine's lightning-enhanced saber work.
Anakin, help me. They're trying to overthrow the Republic.
Don't listen to him. He's the traitor. Master Windu, stop. He must stand trial. We can't just kill him. He controls the Senate, Skywalker. He'll walk away like nothing has happened. I can't let him leave.
No, Master Windu. He won't. Remember, we have proof. His puppets can't save him if we give them the evidence. This has to end, but not like this. He should stand trial, face justice properly.
Her words reach something in Mace, who lowers his guard slightly, just enough for Palpatine to strike with renewed fury. Lightning courses through the Jedi Master's body as he screams in agony.
Chancellor, stop this.
Anakin, kill him now. We can't risk his leave. We must kill them both. Now.
Anakin, do something. He can't hold on much longer.
Mace's blade trembles under the onslaught, his arm burning as electricity crawls across his body. Anakin hesitates only a second before stepping in, his saber catching the storm mid-arc. Together they press forward through the blinding flashes. Palpatine moves like a serpent, his strikes sharp and unpredictable, each swing punctuated by bursts of raw energy that scorch the walls and slice through marble columns. Mace drives high, while Anakin sweeps low, forcing the Sith back towards his shattered window. Palpatine unleashes a final surge of lightning that sends both men staggering, but Anakin pushes through, his saber locking with Mace's in a synchronized strike. Their blades cross through the torrent, cutting the Chancellor's weapon hand first, then his chest in one decisive motion. The energy dies with a scream, and the dark side's grip on the Republic collapses into silence. The Senate, hearing that follows, establishes new leadership and marks the beginning of a long process of healing a wounded Republic. All the corrupt senators flee, or others just turn themselves in after the Sith is gone. They don't know what to do. Anakin faces no charges. His actions in exposing and stopping Palpatine outweigh his previous mistakes. The galaxy begins its healing, free from the shadow of the Sith and the tyranny that might have been. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you'd like to join us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.